Berkey Water Filters and the EPA have been fighting this entire year. The EPA effectively forced Berkey to halt sales of all their major filters in late December 2022 when they issued a stop sale order for Berkey's black filter elements. The EPA forced a stop sale order because they demanded Berkey to reclassify their water filter as a pesticide-treated device. The EPA has regulated pesticides for over 75 years and makes a distinction between pesticides, pesticide devices, and pesticide-treated devices. The EPA's reclassification of Berkey marks the first time they've ever regulated a mechanical water filter as a pesticide-treated device. The EPA asserted that Berkey's claim to stop biological growth of bacteria through the incorporation of silver in a filtration element is the reasoning behind this decision. Wanting to quickly amend the situation, Berkey agreed to the EPA's request to reclassify as a treated device. The EPA then took it a step further and reclassified Berkey filters as a pesticide. The EPA proceeded to issue stop sale orders to both Berkey dealers and vendors. Berkey argues that the EPA's order appears to contradict the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, which classifies pesticides as substances or mixtures of substances intended for preventing, destroying, repelling, or mitigating any pest. Berkey says that there's a clear distinction between their water filters stopping the biological growth of bacteria and pesticides used in agricultural applications for pest control. My question for you is, do you think the EPA is overreaching and Berkey is in the right, or do you think the EPA possesses undisclosed information about the filters and is actually potentially safeguarding consumers? On August 9th, Berkey filed a lawsuit against the EPA. Berkey's fighting back against the EPA since they believe the process to reclassify as a pesticide takes too much time, and it would require them to include pesticide warnings on their label that might scare away consumers. This is not the first time Berkey has run into trouble with regulators, however. California's stringent 2009 no lead law blocks Berkey water filters from being sold in the state because they refuse to submit their devices for NSF certification. Berkey refuses to obtain NSF certification because they claim it will reveal their patented and proprietary technology to regulators. Since we don't have any NSF testing to look towards, Envirotech independently conducted tests according to NSF ANSI Standard 53. Their tests revealed exceptional lead removal performance by Berkey filters. However, they found that Berkey's filters fell short of the NSF removal standard after filtering approximately 1,100 gallons, contrary to Berkey's claim of a 3,000 gallon lifespan and well short of the 6,000 gallons required by the NSF ANSI Standard 53. I also noticed that Berkey receives consistent complaints from consumers about algal and bacterial growth within a year of purchasing the device. This leads some critics to believe that Berkey refuses to submit their filters for testing because they know it would fail. Water Filter Guru on YouTube also discovered some inconsistency with Berkey in removing aluminum and fluoride. In his first test, he found that Berkey filter deposited 1.4 parts per million of aluminum into his water and reduced fluoride by 50% and not 99.7%, which they claim. He repeated the test with a new filter after running 100 gallons through it and found the aluminum levels were much lower and the fluoride was removed. The irregularity could be due to product inconsistency, user error, or the user needing to run significant amounts of water through the filters before the filters stop leaching aluminum. The one thing we can all agree on is that more testing is needed to be sure.